Tell your story.
Change the conversation.
Organized by students.
TEDx Youth at SHC.
We live in the world of information explosion. The digital landscape of the internet is changing as we speak. You can find libraries of information at your fingertips. We could easily access all of these libraries of information, but the amount of information is indeed overwhelming. The days before summer were counting down, and I found myself on edge. While many of my classmates were searching for different plans for their vacations or looking for summer jobs, I was in a craze to try to find summer internships. Just by looking for high school research internships on Google, Google was able to give me 241 million results. There were way too many options to sift through, not to mention the bulk of them having 10 more pages that I had to look through. I was overwhelmed with the amount of information that was embedded in jargon I couldn't understand, and it greatly diminished not only my hopes for admittance, but my confidence in myself. I needed information. I found the information that I needed, but why did I feel overwhelmed and powerless? Personally, this question stuck with me for a very long time. Being bombarded with information, even helpful information, caused me to feel anxious. That I should have started earlier, that I didn't ask the right questions, that I wasn't working hard enough. Maybe that I wasn't enough. Even with all my passion, curiosity, and resolution, I could only say, why hadn't I known or done something earlier? We all recognize that we live in a world that is overwhelmed with a multitude of upgraded and pleasurable conveniences. The internet, AI, robots, you name it. It makes me curious as to why regret, stress, and anxiety still plague us all. Well, you might have guessed it. Many of the conveniences that I've named are all double-edged swords. They hurt and benefit at the same time. According to a report by the University of California, San Diego, the average American consumes about 34 gigabytes of information daily. Now, I know not all of us code here, so to put it into more perspective, what it means to receive 34 gigabytes of information is to read continuously for 10 hours at a typical reading speed. I know. And have this. It is predicted that by 2025, the world will store around 200 zettabytes of information. And 1 zettabyte is 1 trillion gigabytes. For context, the world is only at 33 zettabytes right now. As you can imagine, this overload in information is not good. Studies from the National Library of Medicine state that information overload may lead to inefficient work, reduced curiosity, confusion, delay in making decisions, lack of critical evaluation of information, and loss of control of information. A U.S. workforce study administered by OpenText found that 80% of global workers experience information overload, and 76% of respondents feel that information overload contributes to an increase in workplace stress. We show and we know that when we are overwhelmed by the information at our fingertips, we can become paralyzed. We stop being curious and wanting to learn. We may even feel symptoms of burnout. And we have to acknowledge that this is a new challenge. It's modern. And if you feel that you might have or do experience this, just know that we are only human. Humans are innately curious, and our curiosity pushes us out to seek out information. This clutter of all sorts of information, which is the fruit of our curiosity, can make us feel overwhelmed. So, don't be too hard on yourself. It is normal for us to feel overwhelmed in this way because we live in the midst of an information explosion. And truth is, we can't solve information overload. Information imbalance is going to be something that will continue for as long as we remain in the information age. We ride on a sea of information, so uncertainty is going to be all around us. So it is up to each and every one of us to find a way to balance the need for information and the overpowering amount of information that is available to us. So what can we do? Perhaps right now even, we can pause and take a deep breath. Viktor E. Frankl once said, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom." This applies to our situation way too well. By stepping back and engaging in introspection instead of our search engines, we can choose how we want to receive information and what we want to put in those search bars. I have found that meditation helps me distress. It grounds my presence and calms my mind. And there is a simple practice developed by Tara Brach that provides profound insight. The acronym for this practice is RAIN. You might be thinking, is this another one of those just listen to these nature sounds and all will be well practices? Well, no. As I dove deeper into learning this practice, my implicit bias on the word meditation was shattered. I realized that this meditation method was extraordinarily logical and algorithmic. With a straightforward framework like RAIN's, I realized that meditation doesn't have to be silent or passive in any way. To help you find the antidote to the information overload, I invite all of you to run through these 4 steps with me. First, RAIN is a practice of self-compassion. We need to understand that we are suffering before we decide that we need to do something about it. The R in RAIN stands for recognize, recognizing what is happening. The A is allow. Allow the experience to be there just as it is. The I is investigate with curiosity. And the N is nurture yourself with kindness and compassion. I invite you all to close your eyes. You can imagine rain if you'd like, but take a deep breath. Recognize anything that may be troubling you at this time. It may have to do with a sense of being overwhelmed by information, responsibility, and the future. Just note to yourself what comes to mind. Next, I want you to allow yourself to acknowledge and accept whatever is happening in this moment. Don't try to fight it or fix it. Just take a pause and allow it. And now, investigate. Call on your own curiosity. What might you be feeling in your body, mind, and heart? We are not solving. We are just being curious and noting. And finally, nurture yourself. Remind yourself that we are all human, that humans struggle in many different ways. Be kind to yourself. Take another deep breath. Please open your eyes and stretch if you need to. Information overload is best mitigated with these steps. It calls on you to limit your intake, prioritize your tasks, take breaks, and practice mindfulness. It's all about being conscious and wise with your decisions. And though it may require a combination of time, self-discipline, and good organization, imagine a world where we will be able to see technology as only a tool and not something we are supposed to engross all of our attention in. We will educate our youth to regularly check in with themselves and see how they are managing this tool in a healthy way. can we begin to treat ourselves, our human selves, as carefully as we treat our computers? We can, with respect, kindness, and curiosity. The Confucian philosopher Mengzi said to his students, "When heaven is about to entrust a great responsibility upon a man, it will first strain their mind and will, work their muscles and bones, starve their bodies, deplete their energy, and mess up their plans." Which is why I urge you to embrace the uncertainty out there, despite the hardships. To observe the complexity and remember that when you're feeling overwhelmed, take a step back or have a walk in the rain. Thank you.